And it's time for another alcohol-free beer review today. So it is a can of, well, it's a beer by Mash Gang, and it's a can of their Further. It doesn't say anything else, doesn't say IPA or whatever, it just says Further. So I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Let's read the stuff on the back and see whether it gives us any ideas. So, inspired by the open road, crackling campfires, and a night under the stars, a celebration of the great American road trip. Okay. We used orange peel and coriander seed in the boil, and a classic West Coast ale yeast. Best served in a tumbler with a wedge of orange and a slice of lime. Well, I haven't got a wedge of orange, and I haven't got a slice of lime, unfortunately. I haven't got a tumbler, I've just got this Rivington brewing glass. But, to be honest, if it wants it in a tumbler, then I do believe that I may just have a tumbler right here. So let's use this then. It needs to be served in a tumbler. Unfortunately, I don't actually have the wedge of lemon or the slice of lime at my beck and call, so I'll just have to have it as is. But again, I want my beers as a beer. I don't want them with anything added. So, very little else on here. It doesn't say anything about what hops are in it, but it says American road trip. Makes me think American hops are in it. It mentions West Coast, so I'm expecting something that's going to be a kind of a West Coast style. Let's have a see. It tells you nothing else. Let's have a look. Does how many dates on the bottom? Best before the 15th of the first 25. So again, without knowing how much they give on these beers, it's hard to tell when it was brewed. But it's not going to be brewed before January of this year, so I'm thinking, I don't know, it's probably relatively fresh. Let's crack it open and have a see. So we're going to get it in the glass, get it in the tumbler, see what it looks like. So it's looking hazy. It's not looking like a West Coast actually. Get it to about there. It looks great. It does look quite nice. It's kind of like a hazy amber, hazy kind of almost orangey colour. There's a tinge of orange in it. It's a bit yellow, but with a tinge of orange in there. Kind of quite a thin head I'm getting from that. I've poured about half pint of it. Yeah, so there it is. It's in a tumbler. It'll be nice it'll be easy to swill. It's looking like a nice hazy pale. But let's have a see what the nose is giving us. Okay. Oh, by the way, I love the artwork on this, just gotta say. Loving the artwork. It's looking really cool, really groovy. Just the kind of artwork that I like to see on my cans. Reminds me a bit of the Folklore by Vocation. But again, we're getting that kind of, the same kind of folky kind of atmosphere there. We're open road, crackling campfires. That's the kind of thing you think of anyway when you look at that sort of what's the word, artwork, really. So is that the kind of atmosphere that this beer is going to conjure up when I smell it? Let's have a see. So yeah, so hitting the face with some kind of a fruity note, but I'm also getting something something in there again, something a little bit. I'm getting something in there that's not. I'm not liking it. It's a bit abrasive on the nose there. Maybe it's just something I'm just not liking about some of these beers. Maybe something I'm not understanding about these beers at the moment. But it's something I've got in a couple of the alcohol-free beers so far. It's just a weird, almost like an unfermented kind of like a smell. I don't know. But yeah, something is really hitting me in the face there. Kind of like an off, just like an out-of-date fruit kind of character in there. Yeah, I don't know. Not a big fan of the smell, I won't lie. Not a big fan of the smell. Yeah, there's mango in there, but it's more of a really overripe mango, bordering on rotting mango. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But maybe see what the taste is giving me on it. Okay, I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of banana in there, I think, as well. Lots of really overripe fruit, to be honest, and not much else. So let's go in for the old taste and just see, because the taste can be a different beast, can't it? Really. So I'm going to go in for the old taste. Have a see what it's like. Cheers. So in the taste, I'm getting none of that nastiness that I'm getting in the nose. I don't know what it is in the nose. I don't know what that thing is that I'm smelling, which I've smelt in a couple of other alcohol-free beers, and sometimes ones with alcohol in as well. Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a really overripe fruit kind of smell. I don't think it's like a rotting fruit smell. I've never really smelt rotting fruit really, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, almost when it's fruit that's on the turn. But we are getting quite a lot of tropical flavour smells there. But in the flavour, it's very light. There's no aftertaste on it at all, no finish. It doesn't taste alcohol free, but it does taste very thin. Yeah, you really search for it. You're getting a bit of hoppiness in there. It does taste like beer. It does taste like kind of just a hazy pale in there, but you really got to search for that flavour for any kind of taste. And again, it's 0.5% ABV, but it does taste like it's just a stronger beer that's been watered down to 0.5%. Which, as far as I'm concerned, it's like, what's the point? You know, if I wanted to do that, I might as well just water down my own beer, save a bit of money, because then I'd get 10 cans out of one can, wouldn't I? So, I don't know. I have to be brutally honest. I did have a 0.5% beer as well that I got with this one. Didn't review it. It was the Easy. It was Farmyard Ales. It was an easy something or other it was called, and it was alcohol free. And again, it wasn't quite my taste profile, but I could see what they were doing. It was very fruity, had a lot of flavour to it. It was relatively impressive, to be honest. I thought it was okay. It wasn't quite to my taste. I found it a little bit overly fruity, but there was something there that would make me want to buy that one again and try it again. I remember when I did the Stoop, the Japanese lager, where it was from Mash Gang. Really impressed with that. I've been impressed with a few Mash Gang offerings so far. This one, very weak indeed. It does taste like someone's just watered down a Hazy Jane or something like that. It really does. It just tastes like a watered down beer, basically. And obviously it's lower alcohol because it's been watered down. Really. Yeah, it was about £3 a can. Not happy having to pay £3 for this. It's really not impressive at all. There's far better on available at the supermarkets. I will continue to buy the alcohol-free beers at the higher price point, just in case there's anything that can change my mind on the fact that these alcohol-free beers have still got a long way to go before they are, anything like, what they could be. Let's have a try with a bit more in the glass, but yeah, a little bit of something there, a little bit of bitterness now that I've got everything in. Get a little bit of fruit on arrival, but I like a beer that when you hold it in your mouth, you can get some more flavours from the beer. This one, it's almost like you've got nothing on your tongue, and then when you drink it, you've got something on your tongue, and your tongue is like, yes, let's have all this flavour that there is in this beer, which is not much, but just a sensation, I think, of having something with a bit of flavour on your tongue. Basically makes it feel like you're actually getting a bit of flavour, but as soon as it's been on your tongue for more than a second, you realise there's not any flavour in this beer really, and once you've swallowed it, there's like nothing there. There's like nothing there in way of an aftertaste. It is a disappointment, unfortunately. I was hoping I would like this beer a lot more than I am doing. And that's really all there is to do. I might have to try see if I can get hold of that Easy, whatever it was called, by the Farmyard Ales again, because that I remember thinking there was flavour there, even though it wasn't quite my cup of tea. This one, I was so expecting this to be good. I know Mash Gang do some really good alcohol-free beers. As far as I'm concerned, this isn't one of them. Very, very thin, very close to fizzy water. Let's have one more go on it. Yeah, I imagine possibly red hot summer day in the sun would be a decent substitute for beer, but certainly not a £3 a can. That's all there is to it. That's my review. Until next time, have a good one.